Welcome to another Mystical Perspective. My name is Reverend Cindy Paulos, and I'm happy to be with you here today. It's going to be a show talking about the spiritual mind power affirmations, practical, mystical, and spiritual inspiration applied to your life, written by Dr. Paul Leon Masters. It's available at metaphysics.com and at Amazon, and I've been doing this for a year. We go into a page or so of affirmations and then give a little talk and review what's on the subject matter. And it's full of wonderful seeds to plant to keep your health and your peace and your spirit aligned with the source. And today's subject is spiritually maintaining or restoring health, which is a very important subject. I mean, you know, as you get older, you start wishing for health. It's happiness and health, but then you realize if you don't have health, it's hard to have the rest. So it's a very big subject. In fact, part of the reason that Jesus Christ became so important and popular in his time is he was healing the sick. And it was through his healing work that he was recognized. And then his words came along to support it. So we're going to start with the affirmations and then give a little talk on the subject and do a meditation. Starting with the first one, beingness. I am a spiritual being created in God's light, and my physical body is an outward physical manifestation of my spiritual self-reality. Okay, so, you know, we are created from the source. We are particles of light. The one source of all that light is God, and we do have that element of light, and most of all of the teachings of Reiki and Jesus Christ were based in light and using light, but also to get to the whole depths in the soul of the person, because sometimes the light can't get through to those places that are blocked or diseased. And if you're not at ease and if you have blocks, it's very hard to be healed. And there's many factors involved in this. It can be karma from other lifetimes. It can be things that you have, emotional stress, eating things that aren't good for you, that do come out in the way the body feels. It can be chemicals you put in your body, sometimes you're not even aware of, right? So repeating this, beingness. I am a spiritual being created in God's light, and my physical body is an outward physical manifestation of my spiritual self-reality. The next affirmation is interplay. In a matter of health, it begins with my soul, which in turn affects the individualized consciousness of my mind, and in turn the consciousness of my body. So here we're looking at, again, the connection you have with your soul, and how you are related to that soul, which affects your consciousness, and of course how you're thinking, you know, is many times are reflected by what you're thinking is what happens in your body. Negative energy can be extremely destructive. There are many factors in here too. Again, if you have mental problems, issues with the way you are, that can come out in the way your nervous system works. It can come out in your energy fields, you know, if you have negative energy versus positive energy, and that comes out in the body as well. So repeating interplay. In matters of health, it begins with my soul, which in truth, in turn, affects the individualized consciousness of my mind, and in turn, the consciousness of my body. It's really hard to separate the body, mind, and soul connection, and there's been so much holistic work done in the last 20 years on this subject. Of course, the healing work of the Divine Masters and in Tibet and the teachers goes way, way, way back, right? But if you are not open, for some reason or another, you may not even be aware of it, to healing. If you have some block, then you need to go there and clear the block within so you can be open to receive healing. The next affirmation starting point: in reality, all matters of maintaining or restoring health begin with the spiritual health of my soul or my spiritual self-reality. So how bright is that light shining? Can it get through to all parts of you? Can you be born again as Lazarus? Can you come out of that tomb and completely let go of the past, right? And be born anew in that light of who you really are? Because in your soul, that soul holds the seeds and knows who you really are. And so, depending on how well you're connected to that soul, then you have to really realize something's going on here. You need that definite soul connection to allow the ultimate light of God to come in. The next is soul, spiritual self-reality. I recognize the mystical reality that my soul is the individualized consciousness of God coming forth from the Christ light within me, or that state of beingness where I and God exist in oneness. So here's that Christ light. How does that Christ light work? This was something Dr. Sui understood after years and years of trying to discover how Christ healed, right? And then he also got to that state of enlightenment and then formed the healing principles there. And he realized this mystical reality, that if you're connected with the consciousness of God, then you understand how that Christ light indeed can work to heal you. Repeating this one: I recognize the mystical reality that my soul is the individualized consciousness of God coming forth from Christ light within me, or that state of beingness where I and God exist in oneness. So in restoring and maintaining health, one of the biggest keys always is meditation, right? That's always involved in all of these affirmations that we do weekly. Meditation is always the key, and it's where you can really truly let go and let God. The affirmation of meditation here is: through my daily practice of meditation, I establish and maintain Christ-like oneness with God in my soul, which in turn affects all levels of mind and body health-wise. Now, there's many forms of meditation now, but we're referring here to that mystical meditation where you do indeed connect with your inner soul and that Christ-like oneness with God. And that's easier said than done. You again have to get through all of your emotional and your mental and your busy mind states to get that Christ-like oneness. But when you do, it's almost as if that presence kind of enters in and there's a shift in your whole chemistry, in your consciousness and your beingness. I take about 20 minutes, maybe 15 to 20 minutes, depending how when I wake up. But I wake up at about 4, and I do 15 or 20 minutes of deep healing energy work on my body. And it's a good time because I'm just coming out of my dream state. And I really feel like I'm being directed and being aligned by this higher energy force, the Christ energy within me, to do healing work on myself. And then I go into meditation afterwards for an hour after I've gotten up. And that meditation then kind of really reinforces it and amplifies it. So do not ever underestimate the power of meditation for healing. So repeating this: through my daily practice of meditation, I establish and maintain Christ-like oneness with God in my soul, which in turn affects all levels of mind and body health-wise. And visualization so key. To maintain or restore health, I visualize or imagine that my real body is that of God's Christ light, perfect, whole, and complete, and that the light exists in every cell of my physical body, inwardly and outwardly. So we know how important visualization is, and this visualization is such a key. We can actually help create a light body that we can carry with us when we leave this physical body behind. Here's the visualization affirmation again. To maintain or restore health, I visualize or imagine that my real body is that of God's Christ light, perfect, whole, and complete, and that the light exists in every cell of my physical body, inwardly and outwardly. The next affirmation is moderation. I recognize that to maintain or restore good health, I must do everything in moderation, avoiding and finally eliminating excesses of all kinds. So if you're one of those people that goes to extremes, or even tends towards bipolar, you know what the swings can be like, and the excesses put a huge drain on the body. You might not feel it when you're young, and when you're young you're more likely to be in that excess state. But those excesses can catch up with you a little later on down the road, you pay the piper. So moderation, or walking the razor's edge, is really a great tool for good health. Again, repeating, I recognize that to maintain or restore good health, I must do everything in moderation, avoiding and finally eliminating excesses of all kinds. And balance is along the same lines. The next one is, I recognize that to maintain or restore good health, I must maintain a balance between my innermost spiritual beingness and my outer mental physical manifestation. So the balance is important in your work, it's important in your life and your friends and your diet. It's really key to have that balance in everything. That's the middle path as well, that the Buddhism and the Buddhists follow, is the middle path. Listening is the next one. I am constantly alert to listening to what my body is trying to tell me in regards to any and all things pertaining to maintaining or restoring good health. So we're trained pretty much in our society, if something's hurting us, we take a pill. You take an aspirin, you take a Tylenol, you may take other things, you may take your CBD oils, but it's important to know that you need to get to the source of what's causing your pain. And your body is trying to tell you that. Most of the times it will let you know. And if you don't listen, it'll start yelling at you, so you listen. And you can cover it up, but it's much better to listen to what your body is telling you. So repeating listening, I am constantly alert to listening to what my body is trying to tell me in regards to any and all things pertaining to maintaining or restoring good health. And intuitive guidance. In my ultimate state of oneness with God, I am intuitively led in regard to diet, exercise, rest, and all advice about my health from medical and all other claimed health experts. So here again is, are you listening to your intuition? Are you listening to your inner self, not just your body, but are you listening to your real inner self that's trying to tell you, your spirit self, that's trying to guide you on how to live right? Repeating this one, in my ultimate state of oneness with God, I am intuitively led in regard to diet, exercise, rest, and all advice about my health from medical and all other claimed health experts. And the last one here is God power. God power active in me has total power to maintain or restore good health throughout my soul, mind, and body. Repeating that, God power active in me has total power to maintain or restore good health throughout my soul, mind, and body. And so it is, right? So this subject is such a key one, because you may be thinking life is pretty good, and God is good all the time. But if you start to have some health issues, you really get some alarm clocks going off in your life. It changes everything. And when you don't feel well, the first thing you do is you try to go to the doctor, right, usually. And you might have a very frustrating experience. I know I certainly have. The first thing the doctors do is try to give you pills or make you take all the tests, and they take your blood. And then they make, they make a guess. And truthfully, a lot of doctors don't have a lot of time. I was in terrible pain a year ago. I mean, to the point where it was 10 out of 10 in the scale of pain. And it was my back. And it was so bad I did go to the doctor. I needed some help. Well, then, of course, just like I say, they gave me blood tests. They had me do MRIs. They had me do the CAT scans, everything, all the tests. And then they did a diagnosis that it was my gallbladder, and it had to be taken out. But I went to my chiropractor, and he said, that's not your gallbladder. Don't let them take it out. You pulled a ligament in your back, and it's very painful, but you just need to rest and let yourself heal. And really, within 2 days, I had been healed. But if I had just listened to the doctors, it would have been in the hospital, take the gallbladder out. And I mean, I'm not putting down doctors. There's a place for doctors. I would love to be able to know that I have a good doctor handy. If I do something, if I get in an accident or I have something happen, I want to go to a doctor. But you have to remember that you have to also listen to your intuition. And healers, some of them are very, very good healers, but the best healers are the ones that aren't the ones saying that they are a healer. The healing comes from God. And if the person in their ego is trying to say that they're the healer, if you see them charging outrageous rates, if you feel a red flag about it, you have to really think twice and go inside and ask your intuition if this is right or not. Science is really amazing, but it isn't necessarily the one that will be able to heal you. It's the spirit behind the science, a power of that light and love and the healing light of God that can be at work in you. And really everything is there to try to help you. But, healers can aid in your own healing. They can aid in God healing you. But they're only the facilitator. From a mystical perspective, healers and healing is viewed as what's really taking place when you're aligned with that one source within. That miracle of healing is coming from God. Even Jesus would say when he performed a miracle of healing, "Why callest me good? It is not I, but the Father which doeth these good works." And that is something to remember when you decide you want to be healed. Can you get into that space of light? And can you get aligned with the true power of the healing power of light and God? So this is something to always be aware of in a daily process. You don't want to get so far out of whack that when you're finally getting around to it, that you find yourself in such a bad state that you're not able to easily get into that mystical state of oneness with God, because as your energy level ebbs and you feel more pain, it's much harder to be in that state. But Albert Schweitzer once said, it's the role of the physician to amuse the patient long enough to give nature the time to actually do the healing. So, what then of those not healed? Well, it's in actuality the healing is at a higher level of the God mind, universal consciousness. And it's a matter of you catching up with that presence where you are going to be healed. And sometimes that's in time. And sometimes your body slips out of alignment and is feeling more and more disease till it can't get back on its own. So it's always the light and the love coming in from that one source, the God, that really brings us back. And if you're not feeling well, I mean, that is, believe me, the time you start go to prayer meeting, that's when you really start asking God for help. Because if you're in pain, you just start praying and you start really trying to get that God energy at work in you. But if you're maintaining it on a regular basis, it's much easier. And it always comes back to ourselves and our love for ourselves and how we're aligned with God's love for us, and to believe that you can call upon that energy and then allow that energy to work and get into every single cell of your being. It's extremely important. Let's do a meditation here, and let's get into a comfortable state where your spine's erect. And again, breath sweeps mind. So let's take a few deep breaths, breathing light in, breathing health out into every single cell of our body as we breathe out. Breathing light in and letting that light illuminate our entire body, mind, and soul. Breathing deeply, breathing the whole breath of life within us now. And now let that love come deep into your heart. Place your hands on your heart and feel the light and love there. Breathe that in and breathe it out to that presence. Breathe out any pain, anything that's not of the highest light. Let it go and release it right now. Now ask for the presence of the divine creator and divine love to come to you. And if there's anything you need to forgive in the past, let it go. Know with each and every breath you are releasing any old pain. You're finding the courage to step up and be strong, to let the past go, to forgive, and let God's love be in charge. Go into that very source of all light and merge with that one power of light. This is the light that holds the power to forgive the hurt and suffering. Know that with that power you can let yourself be healed. There's such great love that is there for you when you are open to receive it, when you believe that is so. Know that you are a reflection of the pure light of being. And we call upon God, we call upon Christ and Mother Mary to be present and surround us with that beautiful golden healing light surrounding us right now in this wonderful light. We're merging with the Master and the Teacher. And we're breathing that love that is present in that one source of light here into our heart. And we breathe out anything in our heart that needs to be released and let go into the heart of God. Breathing in the golden healing light from the source of all, knowing that light has the power to heal. It's the light of the true light of who you are. And see that light coming down your crown chakra, your head, your eyes, your throat, your heart, your shoulders, your lower back, all of the organs. See the light from the source completely merging with every cell and regenerating and renewing and restoring and maintaining every single part of your body. Any part of your body we ask to be healed in God's name right now. We let go of ourselves and we let God do the work. We let God do the healing energy. Choose to heal your heart right now. Choose to heal your life. Be open to God's healing energy in your heart and soul. You are right now, healed with the radiant light within your being, and know that with this power of God's light and love, all things are possible. Thank God for this wonderful energy and healing energy of light and love. And so it is. Now slowly come out of meditation and letting all of that healing be absorbed into your body. And know that now that you are in that place where you can use this energy and maintain it with your meditation, and knowing that if you do this before you go to sleep at night, you can also let the healing energy that you program into your mind to do that wonderful healing that happens before you go to sleep at night. And you can use it when you wake up in the morning, and you can use it in your meditation. It helps to remove all energy blocks, emotional blocks, and it helps to restore you, and it helps also to remove any emotional baggage. This is daily maintaining. That's what this is all about, taking care of maintaining and re-energizing yourself with light and love. And now we're going to do the Aramaic Lord's Prayer. Father, Mother of the cosmos, shimmering light of all, focus your light within us as we breathe your holy breath. Enter the sanctuary of our hearts, uniting within us the sacred rays of your power and beauty. Let your heart's desire unite us together now, uniting us with the sacred rays of that light and love. And your heart's desire can now unite heaven and earth through our sacred union. Help us fulfill what lies within the circle of our lives today, and forgive our secret fear as we freely choose to forgive the secret fears of others. Let us not enter into forgetfulness, tempted by false appearances. For from your astonishing fire comes the eternal song, which sanctifies all, renewed eternally in our lives and throughout creation. We seal these words in our hearts, committed in trust and faith. Amen. The talk today was based on the book by Dr. Paul Leon Masters, Spiritual Mind Power Affirmations, which is available at metaphysics.com. And you can go to metaphysics.com to really look at a wonderful variety of all the great things that are available there, including Dr. Paul Leon Masters' 3 books. His first one, Mystical Insights. This one, Spiritual Mind Power Affirmation and Meditation Dynamics, his latest. And you can also go to amazon.com for the books. I have a year's worth of these talks under mysticalperspectives.com, and you can listen to 50 of those there for free. mysticalperspectives.com. I thank you so much for listening and for being one with that one pure light of healing light and love. May you walk in good health, in oneness with God always. God bless you.